Hello, my name is Gerardo, and thank you for watching Creating Assessments with Goformative, brought to you by Tech Tools for Teachers. Goformative is a web-based tool that allows teachers to create interactive and engaging lessons. With a variety of assessments, students can type, record audio, and much more. Ideal for the flipped, bring your own device, or one-to-one classroom. With Goformative, teachers can track student progress, present assignments in real time, and give students instant feedback. With Goformative, you have the ability to create a variety of question types and see students working in real time. Another plus is that it works on any device, whether it's a computer, phone, or tablet. Gives the teacher the ability to scaffold assignments for students, allowing for more creative lessons, thus increasing student engagement. Another plus for teachers is a library available with pre-made assignments covering a wide range of content areas. More importantly, your students will love how easy it is to use. My goal for today's video is to help you get you going so you can start designing your own interactive assignments in no time. With today's video, I'm going to help you create your own classes as well as your account, design interactive assignments, track student progress, and the various uses for distance learning. Welcome to the first section on how to create your account as well as your classes. So first thing I'm going to show you is how to create your teacher account, and that is by clicking on the tab right here. And you have 4 ways that you can sign up by either using your Google, Clever, or Microsoft school emails or your regular personal email. I suggest using your school email because it's easier to verify that you are a teacher, but also you can take advantage of some of the premium content that they're giving away right now to schools. Just talk to your administrators or your district personnel, the ones that are in charge of making sure of purchasing these premium subscriptions. So we're going to go back here. Once you create your account, you'll be able to log in. I'm going to go ahead and log in for that. And it's going to take you to the home page. And now this is your formatives section, where as you see, this is where all the assignments that you create will be located, and the folders that you create as well. You can label them however you like, but later on in this video, I'm going to show you how to actually set up your formatives and your folders. You also have your classes section, where this is where all your classes will be located and the amount of students that you have in your class. The tracker is where you'll be able to look at your students, see the work that they've done, grade their work, give them feedback, but it also gives you data on how long they've been on the assignments, when's the last time they've accessed their account. And the library, as mentioned earlier in the video, this is where you can access that pre-made content from teachers in all kinds of content areas. So we'll go here to classes, and the first thing you want to do is you want to set up your class. So you will click on new class, give your class a name. Then the grades you teach, the class, and a color. And you hit create. Now you'll notice it's going to give you a unique code, and that is just specifically for that practice class or your classes that you create. Now, elementary school teachers, you usually only have one class, so that you may only have one code, but secondary teachers that teach multiple classes, I would suggest creating one class. That way, one class per code. That way, you can give a unique code to just specifically that class, and you don't have all your students in one class, which can make it harder to grade and get back the work in a timely manner. You can also manually input your students if you want, but this will take a little longer than the other methods. But again, you can do that because you will give them a unique username and a unique password, and then you will keep going down and do that. So once again, you can also manually import, but the third way that you can create your rosters is by using your Clever rosters or syncing it up with Google Classroom rosters. Now, I do not have Clever, but if you do use it, all you do is click on the link and then follow your login, Same with the Google Classroom. You find the class that you're looking for, and it will load up all of your rosters. And then you would just select the class that you want, and then go ahead and upload your students. And that is how you create your account and also upload your students and create the rosters. Once your class rosters are all set up, you are now ready to begin designing your interactive formatives. First step in creating your formative is to click on the blue tab, which will open up your formative and give it a name. It will automatically save it for you. You do not have to hit a save button. You will have the option to either download a PDF, a Word document, or even a Google Doc. And this allows you to not have to worry about making copies, and you can go paperless. If you have the premium subscription, you get an unlimited amount of uploads. However, if you have the free version, you only get 30. After clicking on this option, you will have the opportunity to upload a document from either your computer or your Google Drive. This will insert the PDF into your formative, so now you can start creating your short answer questions. In order to create your question, click on where you want your question to be inserted and select Short Answer. Now that you have selected Short Answer, you will see on the right-hand side your answer key open up. You are now set to begin filling in your answer key, as well as allowing partial matches, case sensitive, or even if you want them to show their work. Continue creating questions and answers the same way as you previously did. Again, if you want to allow for partial match, go ahead and do so, and you will continue doing so until you fill out the whole entire worksheet with the questions and answers that you want. In order to create a multiple choice question, select that option from menu. Once you have created your formative, type out the question you want your students to answer. Now that you have created your question, enter the amount of choices you want your students to choose from. Make sure to select the correct choice, and if you're using as a quiz, select the randomized order options for student questions. The first step in creating a matching question is to select the icon and come up with a question for your students. Next step will be to fill in your choice and category sections in order to generate the matching section. Your students will then see this with your choices on the left-hand side and the categories on the right. Creating an audio response is another great way to get your students engaged. After selecting the audio response option, you will want to go ahead and type out your question for your students to see and record their own audio response. Audio response questions are a great way for your students to practice their speaking skills. Your students will see the question appear as well as an option for them to record their audio response to send back to you for feedback. And that is how you set up audio response questions. Using video is another great way to engage your students. And to create that type of question, you'll find it on the left-hand side and click on the video icon. The first thing that you will have to do is to go to either YouTube, Vimeo, or Google and find and copy the link that you'll need to upload your video. After copying the link, you will paste it into the box and click on the Update tab, where you will see your video upload. After you have uploaded your video, you will have the option to create questions that your students can answer while watching the video or after watching the video. The good thing about having the video all in one centralized location is students do not have to open up a new tab. Before you upload the assignment, you can view the student screen and see how it will look on their devices. There is no limit to the amount of videos you can add to one formative. The Show Your Work option is a great tool to use whether you're going to be hosting a live session, online, or in your classroom. And it allows you the opportunity to see your students' work in real time. Your first step is to create the question you want your students to answer. This works very well for math classes. Your students would click on Show Your Work in order for them to answer your question. Once students open up the box, they will be able to type out their answers, or if you want them, they can also write out their answers on their device. In order to begin creating your formatives, click on the blue plus sign, which will open a box and give you all the options you have to create questions. After finishing creating your formative, it's time to assign it to your students. First step is to click on the Assign tab to open up your class menu. Next, select the class or classes that you want to assign the formative to. Before assigning it, there are a few options to customize the settings of the formative. Options include restricting your formative to individual or a group of students. In order to assign it to an individual or group of students, just click on the tab and then select the students that you want to assign it to. Schedule open and closing days and times for your assignments. To schedule your assignment, select the time and date you want your assignment to start, as well as the time and date you want your assignment to end. Another option is whether your formative will allow for students to edit their answers once they are submitted. There are 3 options for students and their submissions. The first is to allow them to edit their answers. Second would be to hide their answers. Third is keep their answers visible, but do not allow for edits. Format how you will return student scores and answers. There are 4 options when it comes to returning student scores. First is after student submits. Second, instantly. Third, don't show scores at all. Or 4, when your assignment closes. Your last option is to display questions in a random order. This is good when holding a live session and use informative as a quiz or a test. Will help in controlling academic dishonesty. Your options are very similar in returning correct answers. After student submits, don't show answers, or when your assignment closes. Once you are finished customizing your formative, you are ready to assign it to your students. Click on the Assign button, and it's going to generate a unique code for you to share with your students. Sharing assignments with students can be done one of 4 ways. If holding a live session, project website, and students will see the assignment on their homepage. Share the link with your students either through Twitter, Facebook, or even if you have a Google Classroom already set up, you can directly upload it to your Google Classroom. Your last option is to copy the link and embed it into your class website. To track student progress, there are several ways to do so. If you are in your classes page, click on the class you want to track. This view gives the ability for teachers to see the last time a student has accessed their account. Another way to view student progress is to use the tracker option. Essentially, this would be your gradebook, and where all of your assignments will be stored. All of your students that are enrolled will appear here. Click on the name of the assignment to view students' responses. As students complete their work, their answers will appear here. Submitted answers will appear in either red or green. Non-submitted answers will appear in gray. To view your student work, click on the question and you'll notice a box will open up. In this box, you will be able to see your student's response, assign a score, and be able to give instant feedback to your students. You may also view your student scores by clicking on the numbers at the top. Once you click on the number, you will see all of your students' work appear. You can also grade directly from this page as well. Also, you will be able to hear your students' audio responses. Feedback can be returned to the student by typing your response in the box below. Several other options for feedback are given, such as audio, embed a link, select an emoji, or an image from your computer to upload. Selecting a math equation or recording a video response are other options as well. When grading your students' work, you can either manually input it or use this sliding scale to assign grades lower than the maximum value. Now that you have seen how to design your formatives, I want to share a few examples that I have created for my students. These formatives contain show your answer, video, textbook activities, and listening audio questions. I used the assignments in both live instruction and distance learning. Here is an example of a show your work type question. Students will click on the Edit Background Show Your Work tab. Using the text icon, students will type out their answers. Their answer will then appear on the image. Another example is designing an audio response question. This will entail having you record a question for your students to hear. Afterward, your students would record their response to your question. This is a great way to make the lesson interactive. Using textbook pages can also be applied. By taking a picture, then inserting it will allow you to create questions. Click where you want to insert your question, then choose question type. Students will be able to see textbook pages and questions while simultaneously typing out their answers. Uploading a video is a great way to make an assignment engaging and interactive. Students will be able to answer questions at the same time while watching video. It also allows students to rewind and rewatch sections they did not understand. This helps those students that may need to watch a video more than one time, which is hard to do in a large class setting. Recording audio questions helps students practice their listening skills. Great for language classes, teachers can record either a set of questions or short paragraphs. This function can also be used in a live session or student-paced lesson. Create questions for students to answer while listening to audio. There are not enough hours in a day to do everything we want to do. Listen to the following. Have students practice their speaking skills by creating audio response questions. Students will listen to your question first, then record their response.